Welcome to You Are Your Name. This is Dakin Ariel. For this episode, we're going to continue the excerpt from Mr. Parker's book, Man's Greatest Gift Time. Mr. Parker, the founder of the Kabalarian Philosophy, wrote this in the 1950s, and he discusses how you can apply the Cyclic Law directly to your business activities. Don and Shirley Maxwell presenting Man's Greatest Gift Time.
Let us study the following chart as applied to mathematics and the law of growth. The cyclic law relative to the 9-year cycle as previously applied to plant growth. These cyclic conditions can be related to yearly, monthly, daily, and hourly periods.
First cycle. This is the year or month to seed or start business activity under proper cyclic conditions.
Second cycle. Build through association. Make friends. Join clubs that create good contacts. Your success lies through others. Make yourself known. Remember the old adage, one good turn deserves another. Make use of associations and entertain the right people. Help others. Be a good fellow. This could be a happy and fairly successful year. You will make many friends. The proper type of friends determines your success.
Third cycle. Continue the above, but be careful of a loose tongue, criticism, and too much sociability of the wrong type. The first half of the year could be very promising. Save finances against a test period ahead. This year will offer many promises and opportunities which should not be pursued. Carry on with what you started 2 years ago. Do not pull up the roots. It is best to complete unfinished business by September if possible. Otherwise, you are bound to have a disappointment. You will feel the first indication of a letdown in July. Expenses could be heavy, involving a serious decision. Overfinancing or extended overhead of the first part of the year could bring a heavy test with some very adverse conditions the following year that could be disastrous to your business affairs. If you follow the advice to save during the first half of this year, then your troubles will be minimized. Plans or suggestions of the first half to make a change could well be disastrous if carried through. Sit tight. Save and cut down on all overhead expenses is the keynote of the third cycle. Your integrity and that of your business, your patience and forethought will be tested by the close of the year.
Fourth cycle. This is what is termed the test year. This same applies in monthly cycles. It represents in plant life and in your business affairs the period when the shoot, having appeared above the ground, must become acclimatized to the changing weather of the early spring. Your affairs will be tested. Plant is creating a stronger root system to take care of growth above ground. The same applies in business and personal affairs. Growth is taking place only beneath the surface. In other words, it is not apparent. And this could be quite disconcerting if you are not prepared and could influence serious decisions. In business parlance, it represents similar conditions. Your actions and growth will be tested. Should you have become misled by one of the spurious opportunities that seemed so desirable in the first half of your last or third cycle year? Increased overhead and any gamble entered into last year will be heavily tested this year and could cause you to have to refinance and adjust your affairs. A lack of good judgment and finances could well be your undoing. Only expert advice could save the day. It does not have to be tragic, but it will be a test year. So do not broaden out or assume financial responsibilities above your normal ones. Do not make any major changes. Invest, buy, or sell in a major way. Strengthen your financial position by reducing overhead. Systematize your affairs and prepare for activities over the next 5 years. Be careful in your living habits, or nature will catch up with you and your health could suffer. Draw in your horns this year and play it safe. Just carry on cheerfully and stay with the ship. Consolidate your business. This is a cycle year in every businessman's life when, if he has not been wise, he could be forced out of business. Be careful in your driving. Watch the other fellow.
Fifth cycle. This is the month or year that you have been waiting for, one of great activity, of expansion, and of business promotion. This is the year when you could expand your investments to a great degree and try out schemes for promotion. There could be changes in travel and many new and valuable contacts made. Take advantage of opportunities. Try to relax between activities and try not to worry, or your ulcer could bother you severely. That is, if you have one. If you follow this advice, you will never be bothered that way. It removes uncertainties. This could be the most active and progressive year of the last 5 years, bringing into realization the seemingly good opportunities that were offered in the early part of the third cycle year, but which did not materialize satisfactorily. This is the cycle to test your wings. Keep busy. Do not be afraid to take a chance. Let action be your keynote this year.
Sixth cycle. Like the budding time in plant life, this year should show good promises and opportunities for future growth. Promises of financial accumulation for the next 3 years to the close of the cycle. This is not an accumulative year, but allows you to clear all indebtedness to leave you free for the next 3 years of the cycle. Plan wisely. Refinance for greater business expansion, make important decisions, and settle up indebtedness, for payout is the keynote of the year. This means consolidation of your affairs for future growth. Invest with due caution, because the next 2 years should repay you for the care and conservativeness of the third and fourth cycle years. This is not the year in which to liquidate your assets or to sell important holdings, but to accumulate more real estate and good investments for a successful and accumulative liquidation 2 years hence, in the months of July and August.
Seventh cycle. This represents the opening of the bud in plant life. In business, it means the beginning of your accumulative period for the next 3 years, at least including the present year. The first half of the year could seem slow, but do not be fooled, for after July, matters could turn over very quickly and wonderful opportunities present themselves. The effort of the past 6 years should begin to repay you the latter half of this year, although the month of June could represent the darkness before the dawn. Do not make any changes that month, but sit tight. Get out in nature more this year and take those trips you have promised yourself and your family. Relax your thinking and your body, or any undue tension this year could affect the heart, lungs, or bronchial organs. Do not expect it, avoid it. Like plant life, flowers of accomplishment should begin to show on your business plan, and you should be able to relax more from extreme activity, particularly the second half of the year.
Eighth cycle. This is the year of accumulation, the best and most accumulative of the 9-year cycle, if you are prepared. It is a good year to liquidate assets, to sell property at the best price, or for a quick buy and sell. It is your year to make money and buy and sell at your own price, but you should have a cycle chart to advise you on the best months and days in which to act. This is what is erroneously called your lucky year. However, nothing is gained without effort, so you merely reap what you have sown. This is your fruition in business accumulation and in finances.
Ninth cycle. This is the closing year or winter time of your cycle, one in which to reflect over past years and plan accordingly for the next year's sowing for the coming cycle. This is not the year to start anything new, as things are merely working under the surface, preparatory to next year's activity. Its financial conditions should be the carryover of last year's accumulation and liquidation. Take it easy this year and learn to serve your fellow man. This is the year in which to give, to work in service to your fellow man. Do not start any new enterprises or invest to any extent. If possible, travel and see the world, and do not worry. Think and plan for the future starting next year. Spend more time with your family, if married. If not, look around this year, for it is particularly vital in close associations relative to the emotions. You will feel that you need more love and understanding this year. July is a very emotional month, which could bring a test in this respect, or someone could come into your personal life.
If you study the first chart dealing with the principles of growth and the unfoldment of nature, you will readily see how all things in life are subject to this law and quality of growth. It is a demonstration of quantity, time, and quality, the nature of that time. The same law applies to the ages in respect to the evolution of life of species and the physical and mental evolution of man.
This knowledge gives you the mathematical key to life and thus removes the gamble and uncertainty in human effort in all phases of life.
So that was a short excerpt from Mr. Parker's book, Man's Greatest Gift Time. Remember, you can test the Cyclic Law for free without any obligation. All you have to do is download the Cycle Chart app from either the Android store or the Apple store. Just search for the term Cycle Chart, C-Y-C-L-E, and the word chart. There'll be a link to it in the show notes as well. Once you install the app, you can set up the free account. The key information that you give it is your month and date of birth, and it will populate the app with your personal cycle. So then you can explore your cycle year, your cycle months, and your cycle days. We'll see you next week. Until then, happy thoughts.